This is a story right here that you probably never heard of. And this story here is coming out of Maryland. I don't live that far from Maryland. And yeah, this story right here is crazy. Fair use. We're gonna get right into it. DJ, spin that
All right,
shit.
we have some information tonight on a story that just broke a few hours ago. A first grade teacher in Montgomery County is facing drug charges, and investigators believe she may be connected to a deadly overdose. Our Lionel Donovan is near Dr. Charles Drew Elementary School in Silver Spring, where that teacher worked. And Lionel, just to reiterate here for our viewers at home, we're talking about a first grade teacher selling fentanyl.
That is correct, Lorenzo. These court documents came down just a short while ago, but they say Sarah Magid was working at Charles Drew Elementary. Meanwhile, at the same time, she's accused of trafficking multiple narcotics, including fentanyl, for months, sometimes even leaving the classroom in order to sell the drugs right outside the school building. Now, the court documents identify Magid and her Facebook page seen here. The documents describe a nearly 5-month-long hunt for Magid that began in late March when police in D.C. found a man dead inside a drug recovery center. An autopsy revealed that fentanyl was the cause of death. From there, investigators discovered text conversations going back to January between the man and Magid about drug transactions. After putting her under surveillance in June, authorities moved in on Monday, searching Magid's Burtonsville home and taking her into custody without incident. Now, these documents also talk about an anonymous tip police received that claimed Magid had been buying and selling fentanyl in Xanax pills for at least 4 years. The court documents say she's been with the district for the past 2 years. Now, Magid is currently not being charged with the man's death, just for possession and distribution of drugs. She is currently being held without bond, and a preliminary hearing is scheduled for September 13th. But for now, we're live in Montgomery County. Lionel Donovan, WUSA 9.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of those parents at that school are concerned tonight as well. Lionel, thank you so much.
All right, so what you saw that was back in August when she first got arrested for distributing drugs at a school. Now, she was doing this during working hours. So there's times where she's teaching math class, and while she's teaching math class, she's ironically teaching how to put things on the scale, right? Now, it is unknown what she might have put on the scale, but she would pause class because one of her little handlers or one of her little users hit her up on a little beeper or send her a little text message saying, "Hey, I'm outside." And then she would go outside, do her little business, despite the fact there's a big old sign that said there's a drug-free zone. And then she'd go back in the classroom to finish teaching the students how to weigh things on the scale properly. I mean, the only thing that didn't make this thing worse was the fact that she did not distribute any drugs to minors. That's the only thing that kept this thing from making this thing worse. I mean, it was already bad enough a man ended up dead while she was out here, dealing these drugs or whatever like that. But yeah, can you imagine this woman being in the classroom and she's teaching math, and she got the kids around the table while she's teaching math, and she's like, if I got 5 crack rocks right here on the table and I take away 2, how many crack rocks I got left? Now, we got an update because this thing happened back in August. An update came back on Friday in regard to this matter, and it got worse for old 34-year-old Sarah Magid. DJ, spin that shit.
And we have an update this morning about a former Montgomery County elementary school teacher arrested in connection to a deadly overdose. Sarah Magid is now facing federal charges for allegedly distributing fentanyl that led to the death of a D.C. man. According to officials, police found text messages between the victim and Magid about a drug deal involving oxycodone pills that actually contained fentanyl. Magid, who was a teacher at Charles Drew Elementary School, was arrested in August, and police say that she she had been buying and selling fentanyl and Xanax pills for at least 4 years, sometimes even leaving her classroom to sell the drugs right outside of the school. If convicted, she faces 20 years to life. She remains on leave as she awaits trial.
And see, that's the crazy thing. This woman here is on leave. She's on leave. She's on paid administrative leave. She ain't fired. She's not without pay. She's on administrative leave while locked up. And see, these are the type of individuals who the parents are entrusting with their children while they're at work doing whatever. I mean, if it ain't one thing, it's another when it comes to these teachers. I mean, it's already bad enough you got rampant sex scandals going on in the schools. Because, see, nobody's talking about that. None of your elected officials are talking about how these teachers are bouncing off PP in the schools. So if they ain't bouncing off PP in the schools, they out here drug dealing. Disgusting. What's up, y'all? I see y'all up in the building. My sister Daylove, your suit Knight, Ted, Black Spider, good to see you. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Anybody else that's lurking, that ain't commenting, or you catching the replay, I appreciate you for tuning in as well. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Now, I was going back and forth of whether or not to even do this here on YouTube or do this on the Patreon. And I ultimately decided to do it on YouTube because the incident did not involve minors. So that's why I ultimately decided to do it on YouTube. But this lady here crazy, man. This lady here is crazy. The fact that this would go on in the school, ain't nobody outraged. Why isn't this being plastered all over mainstream media? Why isn't there more investigative reporting when it comes to these teachers? Why isn't there a vetting process when it comes to these teachers? I mean, you don't hear nothing from the school. You don't hear nothing from the parents that go to that school. I'm like, where is the outrage? And I'm pretty sure there's some people out there that saw this go down and they were outraged by it, but they were suppressed. This isn't being plastered all over the media. Why is that? This woman here is putting children's lives in danger, dealing drugs on school property during working hours. Nobody don't see a problem with that, because I sure as hell do. You have to be some kind of a dimwit to not see how this is not a problem. This woman, again, this woman here is dealing drugs on school property during working hours. She's literally putting the lives of the children in danger. She definitely should not get bond. And she got hit with Fed charges. And if the feds is on you, you already know how that's going down. She's either going to cop a plea, or she will try to call herself saying that, oh, they ain't got nothing on me, and go try to roll the dice and ride this out. And then she's going to end up coming up with snake eyes, because we all know when the feds get a hold to you, that's almost a certain that you're going to get convicted. There's a 98% conviction rate on Fed cases or whatever. You don't think that they were tracking this girl? You don't think that she would watch her every movements? You don't think they had people they were using as bait to get to this girl? And it's probably not going to stop with her. Because unless she lawyers up and say, I'm not saying nothing, I plead my fifth, then they want to know how she got those drugs. Who's supplying her with these drugs? How long that she's been coordinating with the person that's been supplying her with these drugs? They want to ask her these type of questions unless she says, I'm pleading the fifth, I'm lowering up, I'm not saying nothing. Now, see, nobody black can get away with this without this being plastered all over the media. And this person that's black that did something like this will be public enemy number one. And then you will see some parent coming on TV trying to create a viral moment for themselves and all that, putting on these over-the-top theatrical performances about how this is not fair, how this is not right, and this is my kid, and how dare he do something like this. So yeah, for once they did the right thing and keep this animal in the cage, because she don't need to be nowhere around society. She is a threat to society. Then they got text messages. They got text messages of her interacting with the dude that ended up dead. And the person that found out about it was the dude's sister. Crazy, man. It's just crazy. So again, we got a situation here to where these people need to do a vetting process, right? Whether it be the Department of Education, and Trump already trying to find a way to mangle that up, and then within the state Department of Education and in your local district, there needs to be a thorough vetting process, because we got too many incidents of sex with minors in schools. We got teachers dealing drugs in schools. Everybody all outraged about the damn school shootings and all that, and yet we still got teachers bouncing off low PP, and we got teachers out here dealing drugs. Make it make sense. No wonder why the kids come home stupid. Kids come home, hey, what's 2 + 2? 22, sucker. Yeah, because we got hoes like this teaching them. So if we got dumbass teachers putting poison in these kids' heads, there is a classic case of the blind leading the blind. Make it make sense. Absolutely disgusting and unacceptable. And the fact that she's on leave right now, she did not get fired yet. You mean to tell me this woman is in prison right now? Well, she's in jail, being denied bond, and she's still on administrative leave? Are you out of your fucking mind? Oh, you guys let me know what y'all think about this. This is crazy, man. But of course, she has the complexion for the protection, right? Some people are going to make excuses for her about her upbringing and how much of a struggle she had and all this other shit. What's up, Unique Dog? Mwah. There's people out here going cap for this woman, right? Because that's what they do. All the meanwhile, if you're black, you got to pull yourself up by the bootstrap. If you're not subscribing to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. I'm your pusher. That clip song come around my head, man. I be grinding. Grinding. Know what I keep in the lining. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Ho!